Hey, Brendan here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Got another 2024 rookie report show for you here today. We're going to talk about Tavion Sanders, tight end from Texas, true junior, headed to the NFL, man. And tight ends are making a comeback in fantasy and dynasty, right? Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta, right? And could Tavion Sanders be a prospect like that for the 2024 rookie draft next year? Well, we're going to talk all about him here. I'm going to be joined by my podcast co-host tonight, Jason DiRienzo. He's going to join us here. We're going to talk his stats. We're going to talk about his NFL draft projection. We're going to talk about scouting report. We've been watching film on him for the last 3 years. Let's get to it. You play Dynasty, you play Fantasy. You're looking for a YouTube channel out there that's going to give you a look at the 2024 rookie class as well as future rookie classes for our Dynasty rosters. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to the show. All right, let's do our rookie report, Jason, on Tavion Sanders, tight end, 6'4", 243 pounds. He is a true junior as well. His career statistics: 80 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 6 TDs, 13.5 average. Versatile player too. In line, 63%. Really ran off the end of the line of scrimmage, 23 out of the slot, 14% out wide, 69% catch percentage. Relatively has good hands with only 4 drops through 3 seasons. Good, decent grades kind of across the board. His receiving grade was one of the higher ones for tight ends from PFF. His contested catch rate was one of the higher as well. His run blocking grade, one of the things I think he brings to the table, which we're going to talk about here shortly in the scouting report. But you can see he's not super elusive with the missed tackles force. He only kind of had 4, tied for like 60th. So PFF grades, take them for what they will, but it's what we have to at least compare player to player. Any of your thoughts on these statistics?
No, that's nothing that really jumps out that surprises me.
So as far as his scouting report goes, like we had talked about earlier in the podcast, it was his inline blocking, I think, is one of, I think, his best traits, right? We have him high in
Mm.
our ranks, as far as tight ends going to the NFL draft. He's probably number 2 on most people's lists out there, right behind Brock Bowers. But I think what he really brings to the table is, his inline blocking ability and his strong, soft hands. I think you and I did a film review on Tavion Sanders last year, where we saw
Yep.
his ability and his ability with, if the ball is anywhere near this guy, he seems to have the sticky hands to bring down the passes. So really impressive. I think his handwork, his technique, his length, his physicality to create space at the catch point. So he's going to be one of the more physical tight ends to go to the draft, I believe.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, the hands really stand out to me. The dude catches everything, and it's the functional strength, I'll call it, where I like how he is in traffic situations. He holds on to the ball no matter if he's getting hit from the backside or the front. Very strong at the catch point. Contested catcher, knows how to haul it in above the rim, secures the ball and can take a hit while he's in the air. I love that toughness and the toughness as a blocker too. I think you see that tenacity as a blocker, and he just wants to, do everything he can to protect his QB, and that part really goes a long way. Missed a few assignments with the film that I watched, so that's more of a technical thing, not a willing thing. But the strength and the willingness is there, and that really impresses me.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched Bijan Robinson, we've watched Roshan Johnson, and Jonathan Brooks this year, and I mean, even this year, even when Jonathan Brooks got hurt, we saw CJ Baxter and all these. I mean, this guy's
Mhm.
pulling all over the place over the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
He's just not blocking a rushing end. I mean, he is pulling, he's attacking across the line of scrimmage, and really leading blocks for his running back. So I think that's going to be a feather in his cap going to the draft. I mean, if there's one concern that I had, it was his short area quickness and his ability to create space. He's got that physicality to create space at the catch point due to that, physicality, but not sure he's going to be one who separates, really quickly. The combine, I think, is going to be really important for me to see kind of what he looks like, down there and some of those the drills that they do. But did you see like a lot of space created on a regular basis when you watched this film?
Not space created. I think it was more physicality, the way he separates. I didn't see the, quick twitch nature of his
Hmm.
separation or anything like that. And I agree with you with the short area quickness. As a matter of fact, the number one thing I noticed is that when he was in a 3-point stance as a blocker to chip block and head down the seam, he was very slow coming out of that stance, and the initial acceleration was not there. I think he's
Hmm.
more fast than quick. I think he's a momentum builder with the speed. Once he does get up to speed, love the speed, but he's got to get there, and I think that's probably going to be a problem.
Yeah, let's talk about his draft and dynasty projections. I mean, right now, the NFL draft, I see him as a second or third round pick. I know people are excited to thinking that he could possibly be a first, but for me personally, I don't know if a team is going to swing with him. And I think by the time the NFL draft rolls around, he may not be the lock number two that he seems to be right now. Do you see second or third round? Does that seem right to you?
I think second and third is good. As a matter of fact, I think it's more back end of the second, early third. That'd be a nice
Right.
sweet spot.
Okay. So in our super flex rookie drafts, I mean, I have him right now as a second round pick. It's so hard to kind of judge this, but if you play in a tight end premium and he gets the draft capital maybe late day one, early day two, and he lands in a great spot where you believe he's going to get a big opportunity, I could see him going early day two, but I don't see him in the first round in a rookie draft even coming
No.
close. But I think somewhere in the second round, and if he drops to the end of the third round and doesn't get a great landing spot like the New England Patriots or something horrible like that, he may actually dip into the third round in our rookie drafts.
That would be crazy. I'll tell you what, if he goes into the third round, I'll feel like I'm stealing him. If I see him going toward the back end of the second, I might make a trade to try to snag him in a tight end premium because I do think it would, PPR, I could see him being very beneficial.
So my dynasty value comp for him, I have as Michael Mayer. All right, because it's kind of the same draft capital we're expecting from him. I mean, Michael Mayer was a first round pick, but I think the hype was kind of, Michael Mayer may have been number, two or three on most people's lists, maybe number one. But I see
Mhm.
them winning the same way, and that's really what the comp comes to. And Michael Mayer, I think is going to take a year or two to really get going in an offense. And but I kind of see them as similar players too, where Michael Mayer won more on his physicality than I believe his quick feed and his quickness to kind of create space. So that's where I kind of see the parallel between them. High expectations coming out of the draft, but maybe limited in the athleticism part, where they're really going to be able to, produce those fantasy points, and again, this is all through a dynasty fantasy football lens, not so much an NFL career lens.
I mean, I can see Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer snagged everything. Sanders does the same exact thing. I think Sanders is more athletic than Mayer, but I think Mayer has more intelligence, which is why he might thrive a little bit more early on than I think Sanders. I think Sanders might need to catch on to an NFL scheme. But yeah, I can absolutely see Mayer. I have Noah Fant, a
Okay.
less athletic Noah Fant, but they played very similar from what I saw at Iowa with Noah Fant and what I've seen from Jatavian Sanders.
Oh, let's hope he has a better career than Noah Fant. What a disappointment
God, I
he
hope so.
was. Yeah, when he
I
went to when he went to Seattle, I thought new opportunity, and
everybody thought that, right? I mean, you gotta get
yes.
excited. New
So
landing spot, new
yeah,
environment, and still
so
nothing, man.
makes a difference in dynasty and fantasy, man. There's
It
there's
does.
that opportunity and all that
Puka
matters. So
Nakua.
Puka Nakua, right. So there's you guys go. There is the Jatavian Sanders rookie report for the 2024 NFL draft.